good stuff. Alright then guys and girls, we're going to see if we can crank this guy over. Take a close look at that swirl pot just there and show them what we've made. Right, so that swirl pot there is currently full of fuel. What's going to happen is on this swirl pot we've got the two fuel rails here coming from the tank. There's one there and one down here somewhere. That's coming from the main tank in the back of the car. That's going to have a pump on it, pumping fuel into this through this line. It's going to be split using that splitter there. That's going to be stuck on there and split into two. So they're two return pipes. That's a return from the throttle body, and obviously it's going to come in through the tank, and then coming out, going back to the tank is going to be this one here. So it's constantly a nice cool fresh supply of fuel coming into this. At the moment we've not wired that bit in or piped that bit in yet, but what we're going to do, what I'm going to do here is I've already filled this full of fuel using a funnel. So we've got a bit of a breather on there as well, so it's not under vacuum. And pump's wired up basically, just a basic wiring up. We're going to see how well, if at all, this actually runs. So I'm going to crank it over. I'm going to put the ignition on. You're going to listen to me if you can hear the fuel being pumped around, which will be good. So you've got to tell me if you can hear that. And we're going to give it a shot. So let me put the ignition on. Battery's all connected up. So we'll either get explosions or it's going to work. Let's have a look.
Sounds like pumping sounds. I think that's it pumping.
Yeah, I'm just filling the injection rail up.
Yeah.
There you go, hopefully that's the injection rail filled up. I'm going to put my foot on the clutch. I don't know if it's in gear or not. And we're going to see what happens. It's going to be loud, guys and girls.
It smells very fuely.
Does it?
Yeah.
Why won't it run?
Thing probably needs topping up again.
The reservoir?
Yeah. So I bet that rail took quite a bit to fill.
Probably so. Oh, I'm glad there's no fuel spilling out of everything. Alright, let's retop that back up again and we'll continue back on with. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's do it the old-fashioned. Oh, I've got no fuel left. Damn it. We're gonna have to get some more fuel out of the Marbella. Alright guys and girls, okay, this time it should hopefully run. I'm hoping it does anyway. It'll hopefully run on the injectors as well. Let's just try it. You'll like my my little light bulb there is my ECU light. Let's try this thing. See what happens. Oh. Come on, pal. Are you kidding me? Oh, typical battery, man. Lets you down right when it starts to run. Can you believe that? I'm sorry, we've got a stack of them here. It's had a lot of time to let me down, and it chooses now to do it. Typical. a shit battery. Let's see how flat this one is. Without being too negative, let's see how bad this cranks the car over. Alright, where's my cable gone to that tells me if my ECU is working or not? Yeah.
Well, the fuel pump will tell you now, won't it?
Yeah, but I still like having an ECU light, because that's the injector light. It tells me if the injectors are supposed to be working or not.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try again. You know, I hate talking too soon. Just pour some fuel in that throttle body again.
Yeah.
It's going to act up because it's got no lambda sensor. Well, the lambda sensor's plugged in, it's just reading oxygen. It's got no exhaust, so that's always a bad thing. No air filters or anything, so naturally it's going to run like a bag of nails.
Right. Go on then.
How much went in? Loads?
Not a massive amount.
Typical batteries are all bollocks. Every single one of our batteries inactive. No, it looks like it ain't going to run. So obviously there's some problem with the injectors now. Oh dear. It was looking so good. If I had a carburetor on it, it would run great. But that defeats the purpose of, well, mind you, if we had a carburetor on it, we'd just have electronic ignition rather than stupid injection. Trouble is, it'll waste fuel like crazy. Loads of fuel. So, yeah, that's to one. Well, now we've got to figure out why the injectors don't fire, because obviously they're not firing. Whether this ECU can't deliver the power or I don't know.
That's what I would imagine it is.
Yeah.
Just can't deliver the amount of amps. It's only meant to, run one of these. Well, one big one, I imagine.
The other thing I could have done is forgot. Well, I don't know which way around these injectors are supposed to fire. Wire in. I presume blue to blue and brown to brown, but who knows?
What voltage do they fire at? Do you know?
Standard voltage, 12. I would have thought. If it's PWM, then I'm not sure.
Or just stick a bulb on it or something.
Yeah, that's what I could do.
A little bulb.
They all fire up. They all fire at once anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. But it was running fine when you put fuel in it.
Oh yeah.
So that tells me it's not a spark issue, it's a definite fueling issue.
That's the thing, if you wanted to convert this to carburetor, you could just leave that on.
Leave all that on.
And
Yeah,
use all the pros of electronic ignition rather than distributor.
Well, let's try that then.
What?
Bulb
on the injectors?
Yeah, bulb on the injectors, see if the injectors are firing. Alright then.
Okay.
Oh, that is weird.
It seems to be coming on with the fuel pump.
Yeah. But that was going into the injector.
Yeah.
So how the hell does that work then? Let's try it on the other one. Let's just touch that onto the positive and see if it's a... Oh, it is. That's a
ground.
That's a ground there. So what colour's that? That's the ground. The blue's the ground.
Looks like it.
Yeah, blue's the ground. Alright, let's try this again. Watch that sensor in the exhaust. that battery don't bang that engine over good. Oh, but why won't it go? What is the meaning of this? Okay guys and girls, here's a question for you. Does it matter which way you wire in injectors? In fact, what happens if we was trying to, if we be naughty and we try and plug an injector in back to front? It probably won't let me do it because it's got some stupid thing. But no, it won't because we've got all this crap in the way. Let's take that off. Less screwdriver. Let's try and plug it in back to front. It's gonna be upset with me doing this. Well, I've got those lovely little wire cutters anyway. Naturally they're not here. Oh, I've got these ones here. These will do the job. Let's just cut that lug out of that injector there. Of course I'm a rebel. I've got the stupid little bit of plastic stuck in the injector thing. Come on out of there. There. Now let's plug this in back to front. See if it'll have it. If we get this fire.
Firing on one cylinder.
Yeah, if we get it to fire, well, I don't want to drop down there. It might fit, it might not. Don't know how well that's on. Oh, it's making a connection. It is now, definitely. Right, if we get that to fire, if it fires on one cylinder, we know the injector's the wrong way around. Ready? Guess not. No. Problem is somewhere else. Probably the ECU hasn't got enough power to actually tell the injector what to do.
Here's one for you then.
Go on.
If the ECU can't support all these injectors, unplug a few to take the load off it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll try that. Starting with this one, we put on back to front. You're after me.
Is it the police?
It's a hospital.
Where is it?
Right, okay, let's unplug some injectors and see if we can still get it to fire on one cylinder. Setting off people's house alarms. Right, one cylinder. If we get it to fire, we'll know it won't run, but it fires.
Then we'll know what the problem is.
Yeah. Ready?
Go on.
No, problem exists somewhere else. Let's try and plug in that one then, and we'll plug in that one that was modified to be back to front. Again. Wherever my screwdriver's disappeared to. This is the problem I have, putting stuff down and losing it straight away. It's such a pain in the backside. My short-term memory is absolutely terrible. You won't put that there because it drops into the air intake while I'm cranking. Right, back to front. Gets me out, loose the injectors off.
Yeah. Mind you, they're not in the combustion chamber.
No, that's true. Right, let's try that. And that's the end of that battery. Every battery we've got is knackered. So, it looks like this ECU will not work this engine. For some reason, some way, shape or form, it just will not fire it. Something's happening, it's just saying no. We ain't gonna have it. Oh well, back to the drawing board, I'm afraid.